What's going on, Reefers? Welcome back to another episode of Reisto'sReef. Home of the gladiator here behind me, doing pretty good. We're on our 6+ weeks of lockdown, probably 7 weeks of lockdown here in New York City. Can't do much, so I figured let's talk some reefing. Now, there's a few questions I always get on a regular basis. Some are questions, some are complaints. Some of the questions I normally get is what you're running, what you're dosing, how long you keep your lights on, what are you feeding, stuff like that. Some of the complaints I get is my torches is not doing too good, my softies, my mushrooms are not opening up, and everything of that nature. So I figured I'm gonna make this video. I started elaborating on it on Instagram one day, but had to cut it short, so I figured I'm gonna make this video. Now let me move for a second. Take a look at this tank. Now we're at 20 inches, 2 feet deep. So 5 feet long, 2 feet wide, 20 inches deep. And the reason why I said that, because I'm not sure if any section of the Great Barrier Reef, Indonesia, Bali, wherever there's reef, I'm not sure if there's any section of a 5-foot reef with this diversity of corals in it. So we are left with the challenge of keeping so many different species, so many different type of organism in a compact glass box. So it have its challenges. Now this tank is 20 inches deep, and I'm gonna have a deep water coral. It's 20 inches deep. Is there any coral that's really gonna live in 20 inches deep in the ocean and it's a deep water coral? So what I'm saying, it is a challenge. So we face the problem of trying to keep everything we want to keep that we like. They may not like our tank, but we like them. We're trying to keep them happy, have everything grow, have everything thrive, not everything survive. A lot of time we are just keeping corals alive, but they're not growing, they're not doing anything. And I don't know if that's what we really want. We want to see the coral thrive and growing and stuff like that. So we left with that challenge of how do we try to keep everything growing, happy, colored up, looking beautiful in 5 feet. Some of us got 6 foot, some of us got 10, 12 feet of aquarium, but none of us have a tank that's acres as you're gonna encounter in the wild. So my whole philosophy of this is I'm gonna keep what's doing good. In other words, you have to gravitate to what's doing good in your tank. If you're having a problem with certain corals, leave it alone for a minute or two. Maybe there's something going on in the tank that is not the optimal condition for that coral. Reintroduce that coral, few months in, a year or two in, if you have that patience. But constantly buying the same coral and it's dying, and you keep, I want to keep this, and I don't think it's really, it brings up a level of frustration on your behalf and a certain level of, I'm done, let's say what it is, you're getting pissed off and you're like, I gotta get out of the hobby. So gravitate to whatever is doing good in your tank. Also, you gotta understand, you're not gonna be able to keep everything happy. I just don't think you're gonna get every piece of coral that your eyes see that's pretty, that you're gonna does great in your tank. So You're not trying to, now, like I would tell a friend of mine, you have certain beautiful corals, expensive coral doing beautiful in your tank, and you're trying to fix the tank to make a $30 frag happy, but you have $1,000 colony that you're willing to upset to make a $30 frag, happy. So, I think that's the wrong direction to go. Introduce your pieces, give them what they like, what they need, long as it doesn't interfere with what your tank is. If you have a softie, people say dirty, maybe it's more of a, little bit higher nutrients that tank may like. Now you're introducing certain SPS and certain organisms that likes it clean, and they're not doing too good. Your tank is not made for that. So whatever tank you decide to keep, whether it be, if you want to do now, this is a mixed reef, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of things in here that I've tried that just didn't do good. There's no acants in this tank, maybe a few blastos, and people say acants and blastos are probably are. I've never been able to keep acants, and people say they're so easy, they haven't worked out for me. So I gravitate from them. Every once in a while I introduce them to the frag system. They stay alive, they don't thrive. So I've made up my mind, I'm gonna keep them out of the gladiator. Them and the gladiator have a problem. So that's just basically what I'm saying. I'm gravitating to the stuff that I can keep, I know I can manage, I know that's working for me. I'm not trying to keep, put it this way, it's the same as a fish that's not reef safe. We may like that fish, but we know it's going to eat our corals, and then we don't do it. Apply the same system to the corals. If the corals doesn't do good, just don't constantly going out, buying that coral and putting it, in the tank. Also, learn about that coral. The beauty of this hobby is so much people you can reach out that can tell you, try this, try that, and all of that stuff to help that coral grow. And I don't mean changing your system. I mean, some things may need to be target fed. So you may get a piece, it's not doing good for me. Someone may tell you, have you ever target feed it? And you say, no, not really. They say, well, next time you try one, try a regular one. Buy a more of the entry level of that piece. In other words, buy a regular acan. In my situation, buy a regular acan, target feed it and see if that works. But just do not go out and buy, the crazy, ridiculous acan if you can't keep acan also, and then just watch it die in your tank. So, so this video is basically about, let your tank gravitate. Start with an idea that you're going to have. Now, the majority of us want this idea. We want everything that we see and everything that we like. But no, it comes with a lot of work and challenges. Like I always say, this hobby is not as hard as it is, but it's like everything else. It can be as hard as you make it, or it can be as easy as you make it. So that's just basically what I'm saying. Gravitate to what's doing good in your tank, master that, then move on to something. But if it's not working with you, leave it alone. Keep whatever is working for you. Apply it in your relationship. Apply it to a woman. If a girl don't like you, move away from her. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, once again, it's your boy Reistos, the Gladiator, here in New York. I locked down, so I figured I made this video because, I get these calls that this is not doing too good and that's not doing too good. Sometimes I say, leave it alone. Try a different kind of corals. So remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell with my boy Dane. He loads up these videos for me and stuff. And remember, you can always check out the Instagram page. A lot of these things are for sale. If you need something, hit me up. I'll let you know if I have a frag of it. Some of it is doing good, some of it is surviving. So, you know, once again, like, share, subscribe. It's the Gladiator. It's your boy Reisto. New York, lockdown. God bless everybody out there. Please, 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 please. Very important. Stay safe. Do what they're asking you to do to protect yourself and your family. And with that being said, I'm out. Boom.